Traditionally on YouTube, there's advertisement seasons that happen. The most profitable and most plentiful advertisement season is obviously the fall, because this is when all the advertisers want to run ads for Christmas, right? They want to advertise their products for the end of the year. So what ends up happening is tons of ads flood YouTube. And what YouTube wants to do is make sure that they're getting those ads to the effective parties, because number one, they want people who are running quality content to get the ad revenue. And number two, they want the advertisers to feel like they're getting something out of their ad campaigns and not throwing money into the wind, so that they will return in order to keep doing ads. You see, they don't want the adpocalypse to happen again and again, where these advertisers feel like their videos or their ads are going to ineffective videos, and then they'll just pull their ads and never come back, and now everyone loses money. All right. So what they did is they instituted changes. When you upload a video to YouTube, there's a questionnaire that you must answer explaining the type of content that you're uploading. Now, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this questionnaire went from as simple as, is there violence? Is there swearing? Is there gore? Is there sexual content? And is it for kids? It went from that simple questionnaire to, over the last 2 to 3 years, it has become the most convoluted questionnaire I've ever seen. Is there violence? Well, what kind of violence? Is it this or this or this? Does it happen like this or this? When does it happen? How often does it happen? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, I'm uploading one video. How long am I going to sit here? Is there sexual content? What kind of sexual content? Do you reference sex? Do you do this? Do you do that? Is it, at what point do you swear in the video? What kind of swears do you use? This or that. Like, what is it? I feel like I'm filling out a job application. All I want to do is upload a video. It's pretty insane. So it's gotten more and more convoluted. And what I've noticed is a month or two ago, as I went to upload a video, that for some reason the drop-down menus for this questionnaire changed. So noticing that it changed, I skimmed through it. And absolutely, YouTube snuck in some changes. They didn't make a big announcement they were doing this, and the changes are as follows. Do you have any swearing or adult language within the first 15 seconds of your video? If you say yes, your video is immediately flagged and demonetized. Okay? So if any time the video goes on within 15 seconds, done. You're done. Okay? If you have any kind of a swear word in the title or tags of your video, or even the body of your video description, any swear words, demonetized. Okay? I can understand this. For example, if you're making a video and literally the first 15 seconds is you swearing, I mean, what kind of intelligent thought are you really relaying, right? Now, I can understand in the old days that there were these angry reviewer style videos where every word out of these people's mouths was a swear, and so they were trying to be funny in that regard. But even then, I'm pretty sure you can get through 15 seconds explaining what the video is before you explode with expletives, okay? And in reality, let's say that you owned that used car dealership in Toledo, Ohio, and you're trying to advertise a used car dealership. And the first video that it goes on is a reviewer who they go on screen, they say, this game is a piece of beep, 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 beep. Wow, someone's really coming to my car dealership now after, that's the first thing they see, you see? So I can understand where that mentality and that thought process is coming from. Do I agree with YouTube rolling out a change like that and not explaining it? I do not. I think YouTube should be absolutely transparent with major changes like this, and they literally never are. I've said this over the years, and I'll say it again. YouTube and its management, not necessarily the line-level employees, but its management, has this mentality that they are smarter than everyone else. They think that they are like big brains. Well, we went to Ivy League schools, right? We know what the fuck we're doing because we're in charge. So we will make these giant sweeping changes that affect the entire site and business, and we don't even have to bother telling you about them because we just know better than you. And every single time that they do these, literally, there's no recourse against them. It's not like you can say, oh, I don't want that change or whatever. You're just forced to accept it or just don't use the site, okay? It's pretty bad in that regard, all right? Sadly, I do feel that should not be the case, okay? I do feel that there should be a situation where maybe you either accept or deny the change. And if you deny the change, then maybe you can't get monetization on certain content or whatever. But in addition, there should definitely be a notification. It literally shouldn't just be, oh, guess what? Everything changed. We didn't bother telling you. Figure it out for yourself. And that's the YouTube mantra. That's literally what they've done since day one that I've been on YouTube 15 years ago. They changed the whole site. They tell no one. You figure it out. Okay? That's baloney. That's not how a good business should operate, especially if you are reliant on content from people who are just giving it to you for free to operate your business. You should be more transparent with those people who are giving you the means to make a living, all right? It really is bullshit. And I'm angry that YouTube still 15 years later has not changed. They've never learned. What it is there's no competition. I've said this many times before. When there's no direct competition, what incentive is there for YouTube to ever improve, right? There's nowhere else to go to actively upload all of your on-demand video files and monetize them in the modern era. There just isn't anywhere that will do it. There's been other, pretenders to the crown. The Blip TVs, the Vimeos, Facebook bullshit, whatever you want to say, all these different places. None of them have ever been real competition for YouTube. So YouTube can do whatever it wants. And that's just how business works, okay? So, you might say you're a giant YouTuber and you're upset because you like swearing in the first 15 seconds of your video. You like putting profanity in the title and the description of your video and you can't do it anymore. Well, I'm going somewhere else. Where are you going? Where exactly are you going? Nowhere. You're just going to have to deal with it, man, right? You're just going to have to deal with it and be here and deal with the change. There's nothing you can do about it. Either you like it or you don't, right? So, that's one thing. Now, the other thing is, from what I'm to understand, okay, and this is what people have said, and I actually don't believe this. Supposedly there is some unwritten rule that if you say a certain amount of swears, in a video or whatever, that you get demonetized automatically. I've never seen that happen, okay? And I'm gonna give you, or certain content as well. If there's certain over-sexualized content or gore, the only time I've ever seen a video really get unfairly demonetized for that would be some certain survival horror playthroughs that I've done over the years. For some reason, it seemed like YouTube had a bug up their butt about a certain game that they thought was really gory, and they would just demonetize the whole playthrough. That actually happened with my original The Evil Within playthrough. I don't know if you guys do that. Many years ago, I played The Evil Within. No problems. Then all of a sudden, I think it was like I want to say it was like 2016. It was either 2016 or early 2017. YouTube started running this new algorithm that would demonetize videos. The entire Evil Within playthrough got demonetized. Why? Gore, maybe? I don't know. It didn't really explain it. It just did it. And then you had no real recourse against it. Like, you could ask YouTube, why did you do that? And they would give you a form letter response. Oh, well, here's our criteria of why we demonetize videos. But then you would say, yeah, but I want to know what I violated. And they wouldn't answer. They'd be like, well, here's our criteria. I don't need your rule book. I want to know what rule I violated that you demonetized my series, and they won't answer. So, that definitely was the first time when I was nervous about the future. I was like, does this mean I won't be able to play survival horror games anymore? Does this mean I won't be able to play Call of Duty with violence and people getting shot every few seconds? Like, I didn't know what was going to happen, right? But here's the deal. Basically, the way I see it is I don't think it's a giant deal as long as you're someone who diversifies your content, doesn't rely on one big video a day to be your big moneymaker. Like I actually talked about this many years ago with Angry Joe, all right? Now, I will tell you this personally. I've never really watched a full Angry Joe review, but I respect the guy for his work ethic. The guy's been around for as long as I have been, and he puts out highly edited, very detailed reviews on the internet that everyone seems to love. Literally every review he puts out gets millions of views, and that's the meat of his business. He does other stuff as well to diversify, which is great, but really the meat of his business is his reviews. And I remember several years ago, he started complaining because his big reviews were getting either demonetized or actually content ID claimed, and other people were making money on his big reviews. For someone like him, this could be disastrous. Imagine if every time he puts out a review, it just gets demonetized. Oh, you swore too much. So now I can't make my reviews anymore? Or does he have to become, instead of Angry Joe, he has to become Mildly Agitated Joe? He can't even swear in his videos anymore? You know, like, that could be a big problem, especially if you have a brand, an existing brand, and now that brand is falling apart, right? So I get that. I mean, there was actually a time, many years ago, there was a YouTube channel called Zombie Go Boom, and that channel was focused mainly on zombie-level content, zombie games and zombie television shows, and there was a lot of gore and a lot of stuff. The entire channel got demonetized by YouTube, and they sued YouTube. And dead to rights, they probably should have at least gotten some kind of a ruling, but the judge threw it out of court, stating that YouTube has a terms of service that says they can do whatever they want. The judge is a moron. The judge actually doesn't even understand the law, because in the state of California, you have to abide by contract law. And basically, the judge ignored that and just said, oh, well, they have terms of service that covers them doing whatever they want. It's actually not true. The judge just didn't want to deal with the case properly. Okay? But anyway, the point I'm making here is, at any time, YouTube can kind of do whatever they want at this point. And I think everyone has kind of maybe been a lot of, maybe too trusting, or maybe feeling too safe. Maybe there's a lot of these big content creators who essentially feel like because they've gotten away with it for so many years that now they're safe forever. And that's definitely not the case. You know, we're in a situation where now some of these content creators are getting smacked. Oh, look, you only put out 3 videos a day, bro. You put out this news story that gets 1 million views, this news story that gets 1 million views, and you do a stream for 2 hours, and you make a ton of money on it, but now 2 out of your 3 pieces of content get no ads, so now you're only making 1/3 of what you used to. Sucks, right? Listen, I don't agree with YouTube changing things behind the scenes and not telling anyone. But I also understand the business side of it. They want to get advertisements on things that are effective. If you buy a chunk of advertising on YouTube and your ads go to videos that's some guy literally just flailing his hands in the air like this and swearing and say, this guy's an F, shithead, blah, 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 you know, that's not effective advertising. You're really not getting anything out of that. Why do you think Starbucks, Walmart, and other companies have pulled their ads? Because they didn't feel like they were getting their ads to the right audience. I hate to say it, the big YouTubers don't really have an audience that's going to be a profitable audience. All those years that Pewdiepie was making millions of dollars on YouTube ads, how many of those kids that watch his content do you really think bought the products they saw in those ads? Let's be honest here. Pewdiepie is an example of someone who made millions and millions of dollars, an empire, on children watching his content, but literally they didn't make any money for any company, all right? He's lucky. He basically was there during the era of YouTube where you could get away with it. Now what's happening is these YouTubers who are making lowbrow content, drama content for an audience that literally is not there to think, they're there to laugh, ha ha ha, drama, drama, and then move on. They're now realizing, oops, maybe this isn't profitable anymore, right? Now here's the thing. Most of these content creators are huge. They can easily get sponsorships, right? And a lot of them do. A lot of them are shilling product or whatever. I just saw a fighting game guy who was just advertising shilling this morning on Twitter, and I'm like, you know, I like the guy, but yeah, sucks that there's got to be giant media posts here that are a waste of everyone's time because no one gives a shit about this, right? But that's life, I guess, right? So these guys are big. They're making tons of money anyway. You know, having a video demonetized a day, is that the end of the world for them? No. At the same time, I'm sure it's going to affect them in the pocketbook, and that's why they're a little concerned. But did YouTube all of a sudden shadow change everything behind the scenes, secret conspiracy, and everyone should be made aware? No. YouTube did not. YouTube has been moving this direction for a very long time, slowly but surely, and you kind of knew it was coming, right? They don't want people just sitting there swearing nonstop and then making millions of dollars for just being an asshole. Sorry, That's not profitable. It shouldn't be. Just because you're an over-the-top idiot doesn't mean that you should be rich. And that's, I hate to say it, that's what a lot of YouTubers are these days. Is, oh, drama, 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 swearing, 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 insulting people, causing these giant arguments, causing all these problems, looking through other people's dirty laundry, blah, blah, blah. I made $1 million today. You know, it's like, what? That's not what advertisers want. So if you're going to be reliant on YouTube ad revenue, you're going to have to start making quality content. All right? Now listen, if you want to still make that kind of drama content, there's probably a ridiculous amount of advertisers out there who will back you because they want you to show their products, and they know that you have a captive audience who likes you and will likely buy products that you advertise, right? So you want, oh, this is brought to you by G Fuel, and this is brought to you by this shitty product that no one would ever use otherwise, but because I'm advertising it and I'm a big YouTuber, use my referral code and make lots of money, okay? So there you go. You know, I'm just saying, it's not like this is the end of the world for these people, but what's happened is these people have gotten this weird feeling of being safe on YouTube. Okay? And when you get that weird feeling of being safe and you're reliant on ad revenue and you're reliant on these sponsorships as opposed to, say, crowdfunding, yeah, you could be taking a giant hit. And all of a sudden, so what's their best course of action? Freak out, make a giant drama story about it, get clickbait views about it today, and maybe people will feel bad for them because they lost a few bucks and throw them support. Now, I want you to think about this. Someone on YouTube, every video they upload gets between 1 to 2 million views. They put out a stream every day that gets heavily supported by their viewing audience. They also have ridiculous amounts of sponsorships. They may be losing a little bit of ad revenue. Do you really think they need you to throw money at them right now? Or is it that maybe they're a little nervous because they've been coasting so long on the limited content that they put out on YouTube, and now all of a sudden, oh shit, I can't just do that anymore? I gotta, like, put effort? Oh, fuck. That's not good. So let me make a panic mode with my viewers and hopefully they'll throw me extra dough, right? There's a difference between this kind of thing and me being like, you know, things are falling apart around here because trolls are ruining my livelihood. That's a little bit different. This is not troll. This is YouTube doing things that make sense for the business and for everyone at large. Because if the advertisements are more effective, if they hit an audience that's more effective and they will actually buy the products in said advertisements, then there's going to be more ads on YouTube to go around for more people. It's going to be more profitable for everyone, right? YouTube is trying to do the right thing business-wise. They're just doing it in the wrong way. If they're going to change the site, they absolutely should be transparent about it with everyone and not do these little secretive changes in your questionnaire every time you upload a video. But again, I noticed these changes months ago. Has it affected me? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've noticed a couple videos got demonetized. Would you like me to take a look right now? So here's what we'll do. I'm going to take a look at all my videos, like maybe the last 200-300 videos. So I'm scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. Okay, like 3-4 days ago, 2 videos were demonetized. That was December 27th. Scrolling down, nothing. Let me go to the next 50, okay? Nothing, 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 nothing. Let me go to the next 50. All right? Nothing, 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 nothing. Let me go to the next 50. Nothing, 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 nothing. You see? Oh, there are a few. Okay. I received 2 videos in my Callisto protocol. 2 videos in my Callisto protocol playthrough have received limited ads. And when I click on ad suitability, oh, I didn't want to request a review. I wanted to know why I got. This video may contain. No, this video may earn limited or no ad revenue due to content identified as not suitable for most advertisers. But it remains fully playable. Can I see why? I guess not. It doesn't even give me the option to look at why. Perhaps. Now, here's the thing. Here's the weird thing. If one video in Callisto Protocol is deemed too violent for advertisers, what happened in that particular video that didn't happen in the others? That game is ultra violent, right? That doesn't really make sense. Here's what I will tell you, and here's what I think is actually going to happen. So you guys may not be aware of this. There was a big announcement that YouTube made that next year, starting tomorrow, I guess not really starting tomorrow, what's going to happen is in early 2023, all YouTubers are going to be sent on new terms of service. Now, it's not changing the terms on existing videos. It's changing it for shorts, YouTube Shorts. Starting next year, YouTube is going to attempt to monetize shorts. Now, I don't actually know how. I don't know if they're going to have really short ads or banner ads, or if they're going to have full-fledged watch a 5-minute unskippable video to watch a 10-second short ads. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. Okay, but they've said outright, we're going to monetize YouTube Shorts in 2023. You have to accept this new terms of service in order to do it right. And then basically your shorts will get ads just like anything else. Okay, so you'll be able to make money on YouTube Shorts really effectively for the first time. Up to now, they really haven't been anything you can get profit off of. All right, but I will tell you this: when I make a YouTube Short, I have found that YouTube Shorts are way more susceptible to being flagged as limited or no ads. Perfect example: I did a YouTube Short of Callisto Protocol, immediately flagged as limited ads. Why? Because the entire video is gore. It's 15 seconds of me getting ripped apart, or 60 seconds of me fighting enemies and they're being ripped apart and me being ripped apart. The entire body of the video is violence, not monetizable. Okay? I had a Call of Duty video, all right, where I believe within the first few seconds, or it's a 60-second video, and I remember a big chunk of it, I'm saying, fuck, demonetized. My most popular YouTube short ever is the Sonic Frontiers playthrough. I get my Chaos Emerald stolen by one of Dr. Robotnik's robots, okay? I immediately try to jump and attack it. I miss and fall off a cliff, and I start swearing like a sailor because I'm so pissed off. At first, that YouTube short got like 10 to 15,000 views and was fine, and all of a sudden, once it hit around 20,000 views, flagged and demonetized. Not that I made any money on it anyway, because again, right now you can't make money on YouTube Shorts. But it's weird. If you're making a 15 to 60 second YouTube short, which is the criteria that it is for the short, you basically can't swear at all. If there's a moment in that video where you swear, that's considered within the criteria for YouTube to demonetize that video. If there's ultra violence, that's considered demonetizable. So you might as well not even do a short of a survival horror game. You might as well never do a short that has a swear in it, or else there's no point. You never will ever have advertisement on that video, you see? And that moving forward will probably end up being the case in point. YouTube Shorts, you will never see that kind of swearing or anything. You won't see any extreme content in a YouTube Short because they can't make money on it, you see?